You know, I was talking to, and I've said this many times before, I was talking to somebody the other day and I reminded them of this. I think it's actually safer to be an entrepreneur, to be a business owner, than to be an employee. Because an employee, they're dependent on their boss to provide them the job. They're dependent on the company to provide them their money. Where when you're a self-employed person, right? You're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur. It's on you. It's up to you to do it. I like that better. I understand some people don't like that, and everybody's got their path on this world. But I feel more safe owning businesses that I run than I would ever feel when somebody else could just be like, "Oh, I don't like Chris Law, I'd fire him." You know?
Right. Yeah. Like for me, having my destiny in someone else's hands, I've never actually had a job. I just literally started a business when I was 18, and so I've never really been able to keep a real job. I had part-time jobs here and there, but I wouldn't be able to do it. But it's all I know, right? So I guess it's somewhat easier for us to say that because it's all we know. But people who don't know of it, it's like it's stressful. I get it. And sometimes, I've learned throughout the years to be able to empathize a little bit better with that because I'm like, what's your problem? Like, it's just all I ever knew. My wife would tell me like, hey man, like people had jobs, people had stable incomes, people like they're not used to what you do. And I'm like, yeah, I guess you're right. Like, I guess you're right. I need to be a bit more empathetic with this. And that's kind of our role as a franchisor, is helping people make that transition. But it's not an easy transition to make. So for some people, it's much more difficult than others, right?
Yeah, I mean, we work specifically on empathy and grace in our culture, right? Because the lead painter does not think the way I think, right? They just don't. So if I say, and Peter catches me saying this, I say this too much and I'm working on it, but I say, if it was me, I would just, right? And he's like, dude, he's not you. What are you talking about? Well, if it was me, I would just do this and this, but he's not you. He looks at the world differently. So, and that's another great thing about having a good partner that I have in Peter, is he'll call me on my BS right then and there, and I'll do it with him. When we started, we didn't know squat about paint, right? And Peter would say, hey, I don't know squat about paint. And he said it, a little while ago. I'm like, stop saying that. You can't say that anymore because you know a lot about paint now. You've gone through the training. You've got a personalized coach. We've done, 6 figures worth of jobs, yada, yada, yada. Paint, right? Maybe you don't know as much as you will in a month, and you're always going to get better, but paint. So I had to call him out on that, just like he's got to call me out when I say, well, if I were him, I'd just, delete that because everybody's different. Dude, I love talking to you. We could talk for hours. I'm off to do my networking group, and I know you're a busy man. Let's do this again. I've got, we always close these podcasts with something we're grateful for. So I'll start. I mean, I am just grateful that I was in, to a degree, the right place at the right time to get into this franchise. And I'm grateful for you for building this machine. And I'm really grateful for Bruce, because Bruce has got this tough love that me and Peter need. I mean, he comes from the athletic perspective and we're both athletes, and he just tells it how it is. And I told him the other day, I'm tired of you being right, Bruce, but it's true. So, shout out to Bruce. He's our coach. What about you, man? What are you grateful for?
I think I mentioned it at the beginning. I'm grateful to be able to have built something that attracts such quality people, right? Like the fact that I'm on your podcast right now is amazing, right? Like we're attracting people that, a great podcast. You did the Upflip. You're amazing in it. You're going to build an amazing business. For me, that's why I do what I do, right? Like, so, I'm grateful for all the franchisees that are pushing the multi-million-dollar. Like, that's so gratifying for me. It's like we were able to create this concept that allows people to thrive. So I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for being on your podcast. I appreciate you having me, man.
Awesome, man. Let's do it again. And I've got a gazillion more questions all written out here. Let's chat again. Thanks, Carm.
All right. Thanks.